You ever be sitting around sometimes, you just be thinking like how songs really define life sometimes, you know what I mean? Like you can hear a song and it really kind of speaks to the moment, right? And that's the one thing I love about music so much is that it literally speaks to our situations. Like I'm sitting there meditating and all I keep hearing is Michael Jackson, right? Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying, but if you cared enough for the living, make it a better place for you and for me. Those words, I think he knew something. You know, if you really just listen to those words and let them sink in, listen to what this man was really trying to tell people. Everybody, you know, had something to say about the way he looked and what he did, but you really listen to the words that he was saying. It's like, wow, this man was talking about let's heal this world and let's stop hurting the collective soul of Earth. That's wild. That's wild because he sung it out loud. And I think a lot of people heard it, but they didn't really vibrate with it. They just vibrated with the voice, with the talent, with the image. But I don't know if they really vibrated with the word. I know some people caught it, you know, and vibrated with it. But, you know, when he says things like, we could really get there if we cared enough for the living. Like he's telling you, like we could really like create this heaven on earth. Like this is heaven. But gotta heal it first, right? Stop the bleeding. And we stop the bleeding by coming together. We stop the bleeding by stopping accusing each other of sins and atrocities that we did not commit. For people to say that they believe in God so much, or they believe in, you know, that everything will be repaid in the end, or that there's some God to protect and to give out punishment. It's like people surely love to give out punishment and give judgment out. See, they don't understand that they are the ones sitting in the place of God, claiming to be God, acting as God in the temple, but they ain't the God of the temple. They're actually just along for the ride in the temple. But see, once you wake up, you care enough for the living, you'll start trying to heal the world. See, most people just only care about the dead. They only care about the ancestors. And the ancestors really only care about you because you're alive. And then when you're dead and you're an ancestor, you're going to be looking back like, oh my gosh, I just care about my progeny and about them ascending higher. So that when I come back off up in here, I can be on a higher level. You know what I mean? But of course, all this starts inwardly. First, you have to heal the world inside of you first. And when you heal that world inside of you, then you'll heal the world for others. You'll be able to then affect the world outwardly. But it starts with the inward. So heal your world. Heal your WORLD and your WHIRL. Heal your world. All that stuff that's going on around you, that's whirling around you, that's confusing you, that's allowing your mind to get attacked. Heal it. Heal it. Heal your soul. Because you're the only one that can do it. You're the only one that can silence the critics. You're the only one. You're the only one who is criticizing you. Because you're the only one you listen to. Be the God of the temple. Don't sit in there claiming to be God and then not acting with the power that was bestowed upon you. Hiding behind the throne of yourself. It's crazy. Nah, get on the throne. Become sovereign over your mind, over your thoughts, over your energy. And live in that power. And then guess what? You can create heaven. Create heaven right here. But we could really get there we cared enough for the living, if we cared enough for the living, if you don't eat, I don't eat. If you ain't got water, I ain't got water. We all should have water. We all should have things that are free. Man is the only, and I mean the only being on this earth that has to pay. The only life form on this earth that has to pay for something that is freely given. Let that sink in for a minute. The only life form that has to pay is mankind. Why is that? So, if you got to pay, make somebody else pay, right? That's the mindset we've been given. That's what we've been shown. That's what has been handed down to us. I had to pay, you got to pay. It's the right way to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's the wrong way to do it. Nope. If I gotta pay, why you gotta pay? If I paid, why do you gotta pay? Damn, that's an expensive ass freaking life. That's an expensive ass lesson. Whatever I'm paying for, if I pay for it and then my son's gotta pay for it, man, hell nah. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. And if you don't see that, you gotta look in the mirror. But life is free and it's supposed to be enjoyed freely. So a lot of people came in here with contracts. So it wasn't free to slide off up in here. I ain't gonna lie. Some people came in here with contracts. So did I, right? But yet, you're the one right now that got the choice to live out that contract or end it. It is your choice. But you can only heal from a place of self-love because you are living. You are living. So that's why I say heal the world. Heal your world. But see, you got to care enough for yourself first. You got to care enough for the living entity you are. The living being you are, that it's inside of this beautifully crafted human body. You know, like, I think about it. It's like when I first became a vegetarian, because I ain't on that religious veganism, okay? But I am vegetarian. I don't eat meat, right? But for like the past 7, 8 years, I haven't had any meat. And then like before that, I think I was a vegan for like probably 4 years, right? So I've been off and on with it pretty much most of my adult life. But anyway, my point is that when I first started doing this, everybody was like, man, you're going to get small. You're going to lose all your muscle mass. What are you going to do for protein? And, all of the regular questions. And I'm just sitting here like, but, and before I say that, before I say what I thought, let me finish this statement. So the people that were asking me that were at that time, quote unquote, believers. I was in the church at that time and a youth minister and preaching and all kind of stuff and in church. So, I'm sitting here, I'm going, man, I thought y'all believe like I believe. They looking at me crazy. I'm like, well, the Bible said that all of these trees were created for us to eat from. So I should never go hungry because I see fruit everywhere. I see, pecans, apples, pears. I see all of these things everywhere that all I got to do is go pick and eat. It's my choice. And little did I know back then, I was making a choice to live free. I didn't know it back then, but it was like I understood that subconsciously that if someone controlled my food, they controlled me. In the same way, if someone puts chemicals in the food and I am consuming those chemicals, they control me. Why? Because they're controlling my body. They're controlling my ship. my ship. They're working. They're trying to work on my ship. So I was like, wow, this is really, it was really kind of profound for me at that time, like making these choices and realizing what was coming out of my mouth, because I was raised in Louisiana, born and raised. We ate gator, we ate crawfish, we ate dang near anything that came out of the swamp. You know what I mean? Or the Red River or the Mississippi River. You know what I mean? So it's like, in doing that, I realized that I was making a choice to be able to live free. Now that may look different for other people, because at the same time, you still need a fishing license to go and catch fish. You still, need licensing to do all kind of stuff. And, but my point is that at that time in my young mind, it really formed that, you know what, I'm making a choice to live free. I don't want to have to go to the grocery store and hope they have what I want. Hope they have something organic. Hope they have something that's closer to the earth than closer to science, And my point to saying all this is that your choices, though you may not understand them right now, you may be looking at healing yourself from a different perspective and not understand why. Know that it's for a reason in the future. Your future self is talking to your present moment right now, because you exist in all of these across multidimensionality. You exist. So know that your future self is talking to your present moment self. This is the being that you are talking to. It's deep. It's deep. But you are in your own dream. You are in your own dream. And this is why when you dream of future events or you dream of past events, you're in your own dream. On your own disc, your own loop. But your loop is tied into the rest of humanity, because we have a collective agreement. We have a collective conscious agreement. So therefore, we have our own loop that we're in, but yet our loop is joined in with humanity. And therefore, we're all on humanity's timeline. That's why it matters what happens to everybody. Even if the world's destroyed, and half of us return in space dust back to source, and the other half move forward. Like the most catastrophic things you could think of. No matter what, nothing is lost. No matter what, no matter how bad you think it is, nothing is lost. You cannot beat the Most High. You can't escape it. So you're either going to return in space dust, in a molecular structure, or you get to return back whole and complete. Let that sink in for a minute. What you think what you think you're doing here? Why are you healing DNA? Why are you cleansing DNA? Why? Because mankind was meant to shine, and shine beautifully. Mankind is made to be the light that sits on the hill. Like, you're made to be the light of the world. You're made to be the light of the world. Yep. Not the sun. You. That's why you are the son of God. That'll sink in for somebody. But while we're dealing with the soul that's clear and present right now in this world, just realize that you, at the same time, you are working on something way more profound than what you can just see. Don't give up. Keep healing it. Keep healing it. Because people are dying every day. Not necessarily just physically either. A physical death, we all know, that's just now you're back in the reincarnation loop, and the stuff you didn't complete. Now it's a burden on your soul, and now you want to come back and complete it and do all of these things instead of coming back in bliss and harmony, ready to rock out and love everybody. You coming back with an agenda, trying to heal everybody, because you got to heal yourself. So of course it shows itself outwardly first. But anyway, I don't mean to ramble on, but I just wanted to share that with y'all today. I really did. when these synchronicities are happening, when these realities are switching, and you hear songs and themes in your head, or repeating phrases, repeating numbers, all these things are bringing you to a point to either raise your vibration or bring you into the mindset of the memory to cleanse it, which automatically raises your vibration, right? But y'all live in bliss and harmony. I love you guys, and y'all have an amazing, amazing day. Love you guys.